NiP does it. They managed to pull it out on Inferno, which, if you remember, was actually the other team's pick. LDLC picked Inferno, NiP picked us too. They won each other's picks. Now we're going to go to a third map. But before we get to that, let's break down this map that we just saw, Inferno here. It looked, for quite a lot of the map, like LDLC was heading towards a win. At first, maybe even a comfortable win. They were rolling on the T side. NiP did manage to get just enough rounds, maybe?
Yeah, especially when they lost the pistol on switching over to the T side. I actually thought that then we would, NiP would be in trouble, knowing that LDLC have such a strong CT side. But there was actually one specific round that just, to me at least, changed the whole outcome of the game.
So this was the Get Right 1v3, and we're going to have this is going to be our BenQ play of the day. So we'll take a look at this play, and we'll kind of talk you through what happened with it, hopefully. Yes, indeed we will. So it's the BenQ best play. And obviously, you can see by the numbers left, it's going to be a 1v3, so let's wait for... There we go, 1v3. Talk us through now. Yeah, and I mean, Get Right does this so good. He gets the first one before even trying to plant the bomb. This guy actually, Smiths, I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's trying to go into the site, but he should just wait, because again, he hasn't even tried to plant the bomb yet. Just wait, and just, because you have 3 guys left. Get Right then is smart enough. He actually goes into pit, because he knows MBK will probably try and flank him, and this shot right here, there's no way Get Right could have even seen him. It was just pretty much
I mean, you can see from NBK's angle, I don't think he ever actually saw him.
Oh, no, you don't.
The bullet appear.
No, you don't see him at all. And after that round, that's when NiP actually started to get their momentum going again. It was a huge round for NiP.
We talked yesterday about this concept, NiP magic. You know, when it just comes together in these clutch rounds, they get all the key clutch rounds to turn the game. That right there was NiP magic. That was up there with Get Right's 1v3 on Cash. It was some vintage Get Right.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the stuff that NiP lives on. Whenever they have a bad game and you have a round like that, it just instantly turns around. And
Get Right himself had been having a poor game. He was one of the guys letting the team down, actually. This map, again, was kind of what I thought yesterday's Fnatic versus NiP would be, where it'd be all about who held B the best. This one really was, because the reason why Terrorists got so many kills is Freiburg and Get Right had their problems at B, especially Get Right, and then when it came over, NBK had his problems early. He did pick it up towards the end, he really did. I actually feel like the man who got a bit robbed on LDLC for this one was Shoxy. He really gave them a lot of chances to win this map.
He played really good.
And that was speaking of vintage Get Right, that was a vintage Shoxy performance.
Yeah, especially in the beginning of the map. And then you can clearly see how well these teams know each other, just knowing that, okay, we're going to hit B, because we know for a fact that, okay, and Happy always flashes on and runs through, and NiP was ready for that. Same with LDLC for the NiP side. They know, okay, Getter's always going to be in spawn, kind of like a Happy position, whereas Freiburg will kind of play like MBK on the site. You're just getting ready to try and pick some frags up.
We also had a really crazy scenario that I want to kind of just break down for guys who maybe didn't see the context of it, because it might have looked stupid, but there's a logic to it. So there was a round where it ended up in a 1v2 for NBK, and he had the bomb, he was on the terrorist side, and he killed, I forget who he killed first, maybe Exist, and the last, no, Makalele. And because Makalele had rushed him, Forrest only had 1 health as CT, and he didn't ever show, he just hid. And NBK did not plant the bomb, and the round was won by Forrest with 1 health, never having to show. Now that might have seemed like, oh, what an idiot NBK is, he doesn't even know to plant the bomb. But actually, because of the amount of time left, there was like 3 seconds left, and because Makalele had rushed him, it was logical actually for NBK to think, right, I'm not going to be able to plant, I can't stop planting basically if I start. And if he was so close to me there, and the other guy knows that I don't have any time, then odds are he's going to rush me now as knowing I'm going to plant. So he tried to sort of mind game Forrest, and Forrest kind of just got lucky in the end.
Yeah, and just real quick, I think we're actually going live, if I'm not mistaken. Just for Cobble here, I actually do believe that NiP have the advantage. Okay. Dream is still alive, NiP won.
Let me just say one thing though, interesting point. Makalele here has never played Cobble ever in an official match in his career, online or offline. So take us away on what hopefully will be an exciting end to the tournament, DDK and Sadakist.
Thank you very much, guys. The unexpected finish on Cobble. Very interesting here. NiP no strangers to taking Cobble maps in big tournaments. LDLC though,
much like the first day, everything's even. Throw it all out. One map wonders. It's going to come down to it. Gold medal on the line. Sweden versus France. And already some smokes down at mid. As Exist is pushed up. Oh no, whiffs entirely. Has the pressure gotten to Exist? Let's hope not. But NBK is also going to get Makalele, so Get Right's pushed back in behind the vet position. He's going to get overwhelmed as Smiths comes through from the connector, and that's going to drop him as well. So pretty much all for naught right now on NiP's first attempt. At a CT round on Cobble, the first time we've seen it this weekend. Both these teams, well, pretty much every team not as familiar with it. And Shoxy closes out, so 1-0 LDLC. And honestly, this is a hard one to predict.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's really smart there for LDLC to just decide to just go for the straight up push up CT ramp. I mean, it's so open, and they're basically 5 versus 2 most of the time at worst in that situation. So really nice play from them. We're going to see them taking the early T round. Very important as this, we can see CTs take rounds quite easily here, but the meta not necessarily fully established on this map just yet. We have seen a lot of strong T-halves from professional teams in the past. We are going to have NiP on a bit of a buy here on some of the players. You can see that Scatright is with the Nova, Exist and Freiburg with pistol armor. So happy watching over Skyfall there, just checking that position, trying to gather some information.
Oh, but he spotted. Kiyoshima found out he was there as he sat up in heaven, and Smith gets right, so they've got another control of the site, but Freiburg doesn't want to give it up easily with that Deagle, and he'll crawl back through the vent, but Shoxy's already around back and takes down both he and Michael. So again, LDLC finds the key frags, get inside, and they'll smoke it off. Exist. What can you do, buddy? You're just stuck up there. Kiyoshima's not going to let you come down at all. So another one for LDLC.
Yeah, that's a good attempt there from NiP. They had, I mean, Exist in that position was able to just like basically work out what was going on. And LDLC going for that A play up CT ramp again. In the same merits as before, you can stick together as a unit. You can apply those anti-eco fundamentals, just not isolating any of your teammates, just rolling together. And once again, it's going to prove effective. But NiP is all going to be about that buy round from them. And one of the interesting things about this now is that obviously Michael is going to be on the AWP for them here. And it's so important to have good, strong AWPing on this map, even 2 AWPs in fact. And in previous incarnations of NiP on this map, Fiflara's picking up the AWP towards A, so I wonder if they're going to set Michael towards that, or if he's going to actually play a more aggressive role elsewhere. It's going to be very interesting to see how they interpret this, but just as Thorin said, Michael not actually got a lot of competition experience on this map, so...
Oh, who does? Let's be real, it's not exactly like it's been played that many times. But you're dead right, he's definitely the least of all of them. They'll fan it out. NiP's actually going to favor with just Michael toward A, with Freiburg holding on to Skyfall and Get Right in mid connector as well. So that means LDLC's got an opportunity to push into Michael, who's going to get aggressive on towards Shoxy. Shoxy almost caught out, but turns around, does get the headshot. No surprises yet as they continue to walk in, but they've regrouped. Get Right is over underneath the archway. Shoxy's going to put him down now. Nice shot onto Freiburg as he drops 2. Kiyoshima onto Exist, and of course, immediately going to get caught out by Happy's AK. So 3 rounds on the board, but we will see guns for NiP. The question is, there's just so many little spots on this map, it's extremely hard to get a good coordinated defense.
But there it is, Michael on the AWP, and Forrest as well. And I really like this because, again, AWP's so important to defend both B and both A because of the sheer ranges and how open it is. So that means that not only is the range good for you, but because there's so many angles you can take, if you're a creative AWPer, if you're a fast AWPer, you can really abuse that. And Michael might just be the man for that here in this situation. Now DLC looking to smoke it off here to make sure that they're safe to push closer to that CT ramp. Just below where Michael is right now. Going for the flick shot, they do spot him. This is dangerous right now, he's in the open. Exist, gonna find them, trying to wrap around A long right now. And that's gonna be the takedown on him, so they are getting some ground here, but they're losing players. But that bomb is down there. For the shot, Kiyoshima wants to get the peek. Michael, can he be fast enough? Does miss the shot, and they're going to get the bomb pickup. The rotation coming in from NiP. They look good for this defense right here.
Get Right still underneath the archway, gets the shot on Shoxy. He can now focus his attentions toward the ramp as they try and climb upward. Michael not actually going to get Kiyoshima. I thought it looked easy for him. And he still continues to miss out on it. Again, Michael simmer down, my Swedish friend. It's still early on in this particular match, and he's still going to try and go for it. Not able to find it that time. The good news is it is discouraging them from pushing forward, and Freiburg has rotated around. Will get it. Michael drops down in the end, and Get Right should be able to pop out. Kiyoshima knows exactly where he is, though. He's playing his angles right. He tries to go for get right, not going to happen in the end. So NiP take the first gun round. They're already back into it, 3-1 now.
So that is definitely very, very worrying for this man right here, Michaelele, who needs to restore his confidence. Missing so many shots in a row as the dedicated AWP for his team is certainly going to be somewhat of a disappointing display for him. And it might also be a weakness that could be identified by LDLC. If they feel like he's missing too many shots, Smith might just say, hey guys, you know what, I'm way better than this guy. I'm going to go for those challenges. And we do see Smith towards that area. However, Michaelele AWPing from a long right now on Matrix. And
Exist is again being rather aggressive as he's inside. Well, actually, it's Michaelele who's going to drop down and get in there with him from danger. I thought Exist was going to bail out that direction, so they're both actually pushed up in middle. That might hold them off a little further. The LDLC hasn't even managed to get through what is usually defaulted to be a controlled spot by them, and Michaelele's now set his sights on the doorway as well, so it's going to be a hard entrance if they go for this. At what point do they try B? They haven't done it yet. Michaelele not going to miss that time. NBK is out, and Exist tries to come around the corner and pick up a second frag for NiP.
Bomb is actually crawling up A long at the moment, despite this awesome setup from Michaelele and Exist to hold down the CT ramp area in the middle. That is going to be the problem, but Freiburg is going to deal with it. But the bomber, Shoxi, still moving in. 2 on 5 right now. Michaelele on the position, going to toss in the HE. Not going to connect with much. There goes the peek from Shoxi. He's going to take down Michaelele. More players to find though. Shoxi going to get taken down by Get Right. And NiP are going to win that round. 2-3 now. As I have to say, I really like the dynamic between Exist and Michaelele. There's a lot of trust in a setup like that. And it's really important to make sure they don't get through into the close ranges, because we can see how they can split into the A long area there. So it actually becomes quite problematic. But
it's interesting to see Exist be the aggressive player too. He's not exactly known to be that, so
he's holding it down. All right,
something different on Cobble. And look at this time; he's already all the way up long A. Not that they're there, but it just goes to show off the confidence that he's playing with. They are going to try B this time. They're setting up for a potential drop down on Skyfall with a couple players that want to run out directly into the site. Get Right's there though. He's going to throw in an 8. That does damage. He cleans up on 2 as he holds it up from above, and Freiburg comes in on Shoxi. So NBK and Happy are looking a little bit sad as they're the only 2 left now for LDLC. Freiburg's going to fall off. That bomb has dropped down. They'll be easily able to hold on to that, and Freiburg also going to catch NBK. So we're going to see a tie game. 3-3 early on Cobble. Such a hard map really to predict. Again, there's so many little angles and so many opportunities for the terrorists to come in, but NiP doesn't care now that they have rifles. They're completely shutting them down.
So we are going to get ourselves onto another buy now. And Forest has not had much action towards B just yet, not much of a challenge. And LDLC have documented now, and again, this is very much an unknown for both teams. I mean, if NiP are wanting to play LDLC on, let's say, Mirage, they can go back and watch like 10, 20 demos of Mirage with LDLC playing it. Not quite the case here, so they're kind of mapping out the defense as they go, and they know now kind of roughly some of the setups on A from Michaelele and Exist. It seems quite strong. However, B seems somewhat untested at the moment.
That theory, though, that you're stating, even some of these setups seem like they're changing on the fly, which tells me that even the playing styles haven't fully developed. Even, for example, NiP doesn't have a default. They seem to have their positions in place, but you can see Exist has played both down low, and now he's out toward long A. Michaelele's changed his angle. He's going to get Kiyoshima this time. So in some aspects, they aren't set in stone. It's not even like you could study them with the 1 or 2 matches they have played.
It's certainly a very, very nice mix-up. A few mix-ups that they've shown us so far in these setups, but Exist looking to dominate A-Long once more. He does have good support there. Freiburg going to spot one above Skyfall, just locking down that drop area, the drop zone. And NiP look really strong here. LDLC can't find the pick, which is going to allow them to get position. And that's really the problem right now. Now they're going to try to hedge their bets, potentially on Skyfall, but Freiburg's around there. They've already spotted him there. And Forest is on there with the AWP. Forest, very consistent defensive AWPer.
And he, oh my goodness, took down MBK easily.
Oh, I like this from Freiburg. He kind of ignores Skyfall because he wants to help out Forest. Forest does get taken down. That's a nice, quick shot there from Happy. When he's got 3 players left to find. And Michaelele on the angle. And NiP showing some great class on the CT side so far, but the T side I would wager is definitely the harder one to play on this map.
So Michaelele making up for those shots that he missed early on. Hitting everything now, up to 5 frags. Get Right leads the way this time on 6. It's still early. Shoxy, though, on 9 for LDLC. He's been playing extremely, extremely well. Inferno, he was possessed. He didn't want this to go to Cobble at all. Obviously, they didn't. They wanted that gold medal, but when they were down and out of it, he was playing super hard. Michael now going to hold on to that mid spot again. They will come around. He hits the first one on Smiths. They are working with CZs. He misses that second one, though, and they do get the shot in reverse onto him. One missed shot is all it takes. They get him, and now GetRight's going to rotate back in through the vents and try and hold. Exists, though. Reverse angle from Long. Does get back into Kiyoshima. And GetRight now with the double as he picks up Shoxy as well. He'll wrap the corner around. Happy does get him in the end with that CZ. But Exist closes out on the round. And 5 straight now for NiP. They're looking pretty sharp. And it has to be said, LDLC doesn't really have much of a setup to go against them. They keep trying the same things over and over again.
Well, I mean, they did actually exploit the fact that Michael was alone there. I mean, that's how you kind of want to deal with that, especially if you have low economy like in that situation. And they overwhelmed him, they took him down, but you can see how quick the rotation comes and how when Exist isn't playing that closer position, how he's still a really big problem for them because that's a huge open area to actually get onto the site. So that's still very difficult to deal with. So yeah, it is really hard for LDLC right now to find an answer. Because NiP still look very strong on these defensive setups, and we need to see better execution from LDLC on some of these picks in rounds like this. But that is going to be difficult, of course. And
get right all the way up
in the ladder
inside the window. This gives them the information, although it's kind of, yeah, sure, if they're sitting back and you've got them forced out of middle, it's good information, but when they're down below, he might make the call they're over toward B, for example, when they're not. And then he gets trapped, so it's not. It's a gamble. It's not something I want to see too much out of them. We saw Exist get trapped up there in the pistol round more so that he was trying to catch them out going underneath of them, but so slightly different.
Flores spots the pixel, doesn't connect though. Another one missed. This is a big problem. Misses again. Freiburg's going to be key now in the support as they get closer and closer to Forest. MBK says no, takes Freiburg down. Forest hits the ground as well. LDLC charging on through, but it is a 3-on-3. NiP though, now they're on the offense trying to retake the B part of the map, but the bomb still needs to go down, and that could be the difference here for NiP to get some extra position towards this bomb site. But Happy able to lock down Skyfall, gets potentially a second one, but no, GetRight will take him out. These things calm down here.
Bomb. Finally they do.
GetRight is, he needs a distraction right now. He needs Michael to distract Shoxy, but in he goes. The shot is missed. That's a nice nade in from Michael Shoxy though. Oh my god. This guy is very quick with the AWP as well.
GetRight, you had to think, had that shot for sure. The entire inventory could have been bet on it. Doesn't get it. Drops down. LDLC get one more. Finally their first gun round on the terrorist side, and they exploit B. It'll be interesting to see if they go back there again. Of course, it came off the back of, again, we talked about Michael missing shots, and they didn't take advantage of it. That time it was Forrest who couldn't connect. See if they continue. They are going to head back into the B halls now, though this time they're wrapping in through middle. Happy's going to scout it out. Freiburg's up close if they wanted to go directly into B, and GetRight holding on to Skyfall. Exist pushed up long A again.
This could work out quite well, actually, because Michael if he doesn't connect the first shot, or if LDLC start hitting their shots now, this is the setup that we saw was easiest for LDLC to gain map control, get position quickly onto the site. So now with weapons, all they have to do is just play together and hit the shots, slowly creep up right now. Michael can he connect the shots right now? He's playing quite far back, in fact, towards the event area in the balcony. And there's going to be GetRight on the balcony now as the players are making their way up through to CT ramp onto the A-bomb site, but the call is being made here for NiP. Shoxy to take down Michael Things are going to get really hard now for NiP on his defense. GetRight right at the back, goes for the spray down, can't connect. Exist still unknown. Oh, walking into the spray. Exist gets 3 in a row. That's a brilliant defense there on the A site. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, LDLC shut down.
And that play from Exist, although brilliant, actually came from GetRight distracting Shoxy because he was already focused on to where Exist was, and as soon as GetRight came out, he had to respond to it, which allowed him to then get those 2 kills in the back. So even though GetRight went down, he very much contributed to it, and team play from NiP gives them a 2-round lead again. And it's back to the pistols for LDLC.
It really is. They're having trouble finding a solution here. But equally, you know, this can actually swing around when NiP hit their T-half. Maybe they are going to have similar issues, and then LDLC winning that pistol, getting this fast 4 rounds. That could very well be a big difference for them. But either way, I have to see if they're going to be able to make these CZs, well, the CZ work. There's only one on Happy. So let's take down MBK as they are getting caught off guard here. This is going to give up his weapon, though. 2 AWPs here, still for NiP. Michael A does get smoked off a little bit, but Get Right is there now to support him. I don't think they've seen this position here before from Get Right, so this could be quite surprising, but they're actually going to double back into the B area, B halls here. And Freiberg has been very scary towards the Skyfall area, so it's still no easy solution here.
But where they've already pulled out 1 kill and forced Get Right back off, but he can't decide if he's going to focus on Skyfall or the entry, but Forrest says, hey, I'll take 1. He gets Smiths on the way by. They will smoke it this time. They're going to try and run right through it. He flashes it up close. He's playing this really tight angle even still, but Freiberg's going to be there to bail him out with 1, make it now 2 onto Happy, and a 3rd onto Shoxy. NiP looking unfazed on the anti-eco. 7-4 as we get closer to the end of the first half of the gold medal match. The gold medal map at that. The best of 3 going all the way.
Absolutely, and you can really see that LDLC is struggling to find answers here. There's lots of maps where they've rehearsed again and again all these set plays. You know, every player knows what he's supposed to do, where his grenades are supposed to go. They've done it 100 times. This is a different story for them. They have to find the answer in their individual skill, like they did on Dust 2. Here we go now. Freiberg to be tested. In come the guns. Freiberg eliminated straight away by MBK. Forrest has to perform now to hold them off from the site. Missing a second shot. Doesn't get a chance for another one. And NiP get completely crippled on this defense towards B and smoked off. Insult truly added to injury right there. And NiP looking desperate for a retake here. But what can they do? What can really be done in a spot like this?
And at what point does Forrest go back to his rifle? Because he hasn't hit the shots needed. Kiyoshima catches Michael Ailey. So 5 now for LDLC, but at what point do they decide he's missed too many op shots? He is the weakness right now, and in my mind, they should absolutely be exploiting that B bomb site a lot more often.
Yeah, I think LDLC might just be agreeing with you there. They might just go for another hit.
And he's back to the op again. I'm actually quite surprised. He's only got 3 kills with it, and like we've seen, he just, from that tight angle especially, can't find anything to work with.
The biggest problem there seems to be Freiberg, honestly, as if Forrest is to miss shots, Freiberg's the guy that gets the support in. There, that round we saw MBK completely annihilate him. Can they do it again? This time Gerro's going to play closer, so he can support, and anticipating perhaps that B is going to be the call here, as indeed it is. Forrest at the back now, going to miss another shot here from behind the B site. Gets one finally, MBK gets dropped as more and more players get closer and closer, but Forrest this time around gets a second frag, and the support is very timely here from the Swedish side. But
Happy's evened it up. Clawed back into it. Forrest responds to my call out, does get the 2, but Michael Ailey's still there. Get Right. The HP advantage firmly the way of NiP. Kiyoshima 32. Happy, as you can see, well into the red on 19. They're going to try and boost it up. This is nice. This is cute because it gives them a chance to see on to Get Right, but Get Right doesn't care for cute. He takes them down. And now it's all on Kiyoshima.
That's a lot of time, but the bomb being down is the problem, and there it is. Get Right finds the kill. And NiP pick up round number 8, but LDLC are not doing too shabby, I gotta say. Definitely Forrest had a better showing there on that B push, but still. Perhaps LDLC could say that there might be a bit of a weakness there, though. But you can see that they, NiP did compensate for this. Get Right was much closer towards B that round than he was towards A. Get Right playing a kind of connected position so that he is the rotator between sites to offer support, but you can actually see a more aggressive approach here towards middle from Michael A. Exist going straight up into Shoxy, but they do get smoked. Exist is going to play behind the smoke. And Get Right is already floating over towards the support here, and look at this, they're barreling him down.
Exist was caught in his own smoke and actually got flashed. He was sitting in the middle of the doorway, so they completely caught him off guard. Get Right, watch your back. They are coming around from behind. Michael Ailey's going to also focus that way. 1 smoke, though, deters them, and they've actually already wrapped out a long back through danger and into middle. But Forrest, look at this, is already pushing all the way through B.
With the AWP, no less, as well. Definitely a great angle here. Should they double back? This is very smart from Forrest. Look at that. They would never expect this angle. Gets the second one. There's another player, but he's done more than his fair share of work. As now Shoxy has been found out, and if you look at the minimap, look at how they are converging on his position. Shoxy's time in this world is very limited, but he does pick off Forrest, and there's 40 seconds left, giving himself some breathing room and halted the approach of NiP. Oh my goodness, Oxy coming in. Freiburg does get the kill though, and NiP pick up round number 9 for them. As we move into the last one here, round 15 of 30. Almost over the first half here on the deciding map for this grand final.
Now stick to that double up. Forrest has definitely proven that he's worthy with it now, so he's back on form. Actually, he's surpassed Michael Ailey as they've put some pressure on him the last couple of rounds. He's been in the position to get those kills. He's up to 8. It's pretty even though for the most part. Shoxy leads the way for LDLC, and now they are back to the pistols. They couldn't even force out, so NiP might have that chance for double digits. They are going to pour inside B side. Freiburg's smoked out of position, and they've actually flashed off on Forrest. They're going to have to rotate it around, but Get Right's wise. He's already there to support his teammates. And now Kiyoshima drops. Forrest in with the op. They're all contributing. Freiburg gets his second, and it's all on Happy. 12 HP. He falls back. Freiburg closes it out. They hit the double digits, 10-5. They've got the lead, and they've got a grasp, an early grasp on that gold medal, but there's still a lot of work to be done for both teams.
And a big deal is that Smith is not really connecting with the times that he has been purchasing the AWP there on the aggressive side. He hadn't really been making a lot of stuff happen. It's been all about Shoxy actually. Shoxy has been stepping it up for LDLC to pick up those 5 rounds, and those 5 rounds they might actually be enough, especially if LDLC pick up the pistol. LDLC can absolutely come back into this one. Definitely a CT favored map here. But again, we really don't know how strong LDLC are going to be on this map. We have no idea. There's almost no data to suggest what kind of a performance they're going to bring together. And you can see that there definitely is a lot of tension in the faces of the French side here, as there are a lot of questions about exactly how they're going to decide to approach the defense here.
Well, they showed off some cleverness on this side of NiP by getting aggressive, using different angles. There's so many you can hold. LDLC didn't quite have the same flair to their T-half, but we'll see if they can turn it on CT. We'll get it underway. Pressure's on, Mr. Kiyoshima. Let's see some more from you.
All right, so
Freiburg equal to the task.
10-5, NiP with the lead now, switching to the T side on Cobble. This is the last map, the deciding map here at MLGX Games. This will decide who takes
the deciding map. It's been such a great tournament. Obviously, it has to end, but how good could this be? How good has this whole tournament been?
It's been amazing.
Every game's been great, some upsets, and in the end, the best teams come out and play for gold. Shoxy pushing up long. He might get caught out. Get Right's there, but they've actually gone down below, and Exist is actually going to get the first one onto Happy. So Shoxy's going to have to fall back, and Get Right's going to come in on him. It looks like he might get the better of the exchange. They both trade blows, but Get Right does drop in the end, and now it's NBK's signature Doolies, who does do damage onto Forrest. Freiburg does respond. Kiyoshima throwing that nade in, won't do much damage. In fact, none at all. It goes very deep. Throwing worse than Tom Brady. Smiths now comes up the ramp, tries to fire away over toward the arch side. Kiyoshima's there, and Shoxy now is going to get Exist. They should have this retake. It's all on Freiburg. He's got to get the first one. He's taking too long. They're going to double peek him. Actually, he does get Shoxy, but Smith comes back around the corner. So LDLC get the pistol.
Actually, though, this is really key that they got the bomb plant. So they're going to be able to get a quick save round out of the way with, and then just hit up the AKs. And LDLC, it's very unlikely we're going to see an ult from them. So this could be NiP's chance actually to quickly take some advantage with the AKs that they're going to have on the third round of this second half. And LDLC, that they're not really going to have the ops that they need and some of the rifles and nades that they might need to actually defend in some of these more open areas. So NiP with that bomb plot, that actually could be very, very huge in this round. Sorry, in this matchup here. To see now, as we do have NiP just rolling in. Freiburg did decide to buy a Deagle, and we've seen quite a lot of damage done in the past from him with that one. Playing quite close range here is Shoxy. Able to pick up the frag on Existo, does spot a lot of players, does get the bomb down as well, but does get taken out by Freiburg, so they know exactly where the T's are going. So going to see a big rotation here now from LDLC. Happy going to cut off the retreat. As Forrest somehow surviving that bit of burst there from the Faust, but he is going to get the frag in the end regardless. So all on Freiburg now. Some damage would be really, really key here. If Freiburg should just use the next minute and just try to see if he can just get another player down. That would be really huge. Great grenade though. That's going to really stop that.
That one's good for a touchdown. Freiburg rotating back around. Passes the door at danger, and NBK closes him out. So 10-7, LDLC doing the job. They do have a CT team, but You can throw statistics out the window because Cobble, like we say, is a complete wild card. They will get AKs out, though, based on the bomb plant in the first round. So
this is it. This is their big chance.
Only takes two, that's right. And they actually have the firepower advantage because MBK hasn't upgraded. That's okay, never mind. He just does now. He actually does pull out the M4A1, but Kiyoshima's still on an a P90.
But if they're able to just keep their money low all the time and just keep them off of AWPs, they're going to have a huge spree potentially of rounds which they will have advantages on a lot of these open areas. So that's going to force LDLC to be really smart on their defense. And again, lacking some of the experience on this map, that might actually be too much to handle. We'll have to see. And again, we'll have to see also how NiP interpret their advantages and how they actually push forwards with it. At the moment, we're seeing movement towards CT ramp. And this is actually quite interesting because LDLC have read this pretty well because they know that that's a really good option for NiP and they have it reinforced. So might just see some good action here from the French side.
MBK popping out trying to find something. Doesn't get it. Shoxy up close. Real damage done. MBK's the only one that has it. Shoxy's going to show his hand. Does get exist. One man up now, and look at this. Happy's going to completely catch off Michael Haley. Force did get a kill just before that for NiP at least, but they're all dropping now. Get Right, Freiburg, only two left. They have to work backwards to get that bomb as well, but Get Right is on the flank. He might come around. Freiburg, meanwhile, does get NBK, but he's got very little HP to work with, so Freiburg closes out on him, and Smith's through the little crack. The slight lookout from the wall gets him on the doorway. Get Right was a little bit disappointed. He thought he might have had an opportunity there.
Yeah, and they knew how big that round was because that was that one round where they had an advantage. They're not going to see a round like that for a while now because as soon as LDLC clean up, in theory, as they should clean up this pistol from NiP, they should start working in AWPs. You can see Happy and MBK on MBK on a pistol right now, so he's looking to upgrade to an AWP. And when those AWPs start coming into play, NiP's life is going to get significantly more difficult, or at least in theory it should, if the LDLC play the AWPs well. Kyoshima really geared towards these eco frags. In goes the drop on the Skyfall. Kyoshima holding mouse one with that P90, able to pick up one kill. And it's a bit of a free-for-all there, but just two players left now for NiP. Just the Glocks as well. Oh, that was a nice shot there from Happy onto Forest, but somehow actually Michael A does pick up the kill. And there you go. Three players actually falling there, and no investment pretty much from NiP, so that's kind of sick that they did so much damage just with some pistols and no armor really. But AWPs in play.
Yeah, Forrest going to grab one. Michael Italy, so they're going to go double op on the T side. There is a lot of distance between the entries to the back of the sites, so it could pay off for them. But again, we talked about it earlier on the weekend. Anytime you run a double op setup on the T side, it has to be effective early because the more time that goes on, the less chance you have to execute. And those aren't effective up close, so they've got to get kills early. Kiyoshima's going to be the first to try and find them at B as he gets smoked off. Fire out there as well. Happy actually finds Freiburg. Now Kiyo's going to fall back to Skyfall, throws up an aid, does a little bit of damage onto Michael Haley.
It's definitely hard to AWP on the T side here. Michael Haley is a really good player geared towards the kind of challenges that an AWPer faces on a map like this, because Shoxy's going to be in good positions on good angles to basically beat out AWPers, so they've got to be really fast. Where are they going to, what angle are they going to take? Who knows? Happy is going to push there and spot the bomb actually, so that's going to give it the key information that LDLC needed, so that's a good sacrifice there, especially as they had 5 men still alive at that point. So he sacrificed his life, they know where the bomb is, you can see them rotating around there, assessing the options of their opponents, and they are positioning themselves to deal with them as best as they can. AK on Get Right, and Michael Haley with the AWP. Once again, Michael Haley going to have to be very quick with this AWP on the entries here. And DLC now going to be put to the test. In comes NiP. Get Right and Michael Haley, 2 against 4. Choosing that B-bomb site. Kyoshima creeping up behind. Michael Haley is quick indeed, does take down Smiths. Kyoshima ready to come in. Another frag from Michael Haley, but now it's all on him. He's going to spot Kyoshima from the jump. Picks up the bomb. 10 seconds left. He's got to get the plant down. Can he get it down safely in time? Absolutely not. Kyoshima just gets him in time with a second to spare. And we're going to have 10-10. LDLC looking quite decent.
Kiyoshima's efficiency in this half, he's only, I think, died just once. He already has 10K. And NiP are forcing out. They have to. So just like that, LDLC might take the driver's seat, come back into an 11-10, and then if they break them here, potentially 12. So Smith's also, by the way, auto sniper in play. And on this map, I'm not surprised to see it. He's going to hold off B with it. They'll have to get through the archway very effectively. Happy's up close. He fails as that flash blinds him just enough. And Forrest gets the kill, but Shoxy from long shooting down through danger does catch him out. And now they'll readdress things. Slow it down. They've got to. It's only 2 men left, but Michael brings it back, evens it up, and in fact the HP gets a little bit closer as well because Shoxy's on 19, but Forrest drops. Michael again, he's not done. Shoxy's into him, get right into Smith's. Kiyoshima back to a one-on-one, and it's only 10 HP.
Oh.
This Pokeball, it will catch a wild Michael. Absolute master. Look how unfazed he is. So LDLC get it, they break NiP, and now they're going to get a 2-round advantage potentially out of that.
Yeah, that was an awesome play from NiP. And got to get it to Kiyoshima, always going to be standing strong at the end of these rounds, it would seem, to rely on him. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing more aggression from LDLC with some of these AWPs and stuff. We saw Shoxy, he's actually going to do it again, going to push aggressively towards middle, but of course we can see that NiP looking for that Skyfall drop rather, as in they go now, trying to get some frags in the chaos. There is 2. Another one, and now things looking very grim. Kiyoshima able to save the situation. Now, Michael did pick up an auto sniper though, so you never know what's going to happen. Lots of time left on the clock. Bomb is down. Oh, there it is. Finds the head of Kiyoshima, and now it's a one-on-one. Shoxy, it couldn't be further away at the moment, but Michael has no idea.
The bomb is up above though, so he does have to actually wrap around to get to it. It's a lot harder than you think. So Shoxy just has to hold this angle. He's got the op, and he walks out one step too far. Shoxy gets it. So there it is, 2 rounds lead now for LDLC. NiP need to respond immediately. They've yet to put a round on the board in this half. It was 10-5. LDLC mounting a heck of a comeback, and we talked about lack of preparation on a map like this. The Ninjas look completely lost.
Absolutely, and you know what? Shox might just go for another aggressive play. They didn't actually spot him in that round because they just hit a really fast speed play. Yeah, indeed, he's going to go straight to A long. Might get the peak going in, and through Matrix onto that middle area. Happy's playing close as well. Shox going to actually see Forrest and back away, so his position blown up a little bit there, but that's okay. But again, lots of pressure on Happy. NiP actually created opportunities by taking Happy down, because Happy is the most forward player here and the most isolated player, and at the moment he is in the window room, so oh, that's good damage onto Exist, but doesn't get the frag. The silencer really coming to play. I don't think they had any idea where he was.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to peek again, so they definitely didn't. So LDLC again, 1-man advantage. They're going to work with it. Happy's still waiting up there in case they do go below him. He might get that reverse shot from the ladder. Get right, trying to rotate around, find something new. So is Shoxy with the op as he's up close, but he hasn't hit it just yet. Freiburg does take him down. They even it up. That's going to spread the defense out, and NiP need to build on this. They need to take advantage of somewhere. They are rotating it back over to B. Get right's already through. He's cutting around Skyfall. As Kiyoshima's back through, so Smiths is going to have all the work. And he's only got the M4 this time. No AWP. He spots them up. He fires away. Good damage dealt on Forrest. That nade's going to do even more, but not going to catch them. Does go a little bit too far. And that bomb is vastly approaching the plant site. Get right does catch NBK on the rotation, but Smith does find one. He's still alive. Now he finally gets dropped, but he's done enough work to even this back to a 2-on-1, and Forrest does have the bomb, but he's not nearly close enough to the site, and Happy's going to get him. So NiP, although they are getting closer each round, still can't find anything on the terrorist side.
Getting closer and closer now. And you got to hand it to them in that round. They did a really smart rotation, because you could see that LDLC basically went almost a 4 rotation. Smith was alone, standing in this weird spot on the B side, just pretty much just very exposed position. Spots the players as the rotation comes in. NiP were not ready, LDLC were not ready for that. But unfortunately for them, they weren't able to capitalize, as LDLC are on point at the moment, as usual. And a quick play for them, the AKs. They want to no-nonsense push straight through onto the B-bomb side. The spray is great, and the flames also taking down Forrest, and that's going to put a mighty stop onto that rush. Freiberg's the last man standing here now. He will take down Happy, but he's on 12 points of health now, as things look worse and worse for the Swedes. Great showing here so far.
No money.
LDLC.
No money at all either. So after this round, back to pistols. They did have one close round with the pistols, actually, where they forced it down. Michael picked up. Well, it's not done just yet. Freiberg makes a case. Gonna get MBK. But that round where they did pick up that auto sniper and tried to play it, it went down to a 1-on-1. But That's the closest they've come in the entire half. So we could be on 15-10 before we know it, and LDLC, despite dropping the map that they picked, they did pick up the one that NiP picked us too. Might yet get that gold medal, and after winning DreamHack back in December, as they close out on the round, it looks like they've got their hands firmly on the #1 spot in the world. It has to be said, they start off 2015 just like they ended 2014, but it's not done just yet. NiP gonna force as much as they can. 3 Galils, 2 AKs out, head armor on all except for Forest, and whatever nades they can afford, they will scrounge up. And here we go.
So far, they've managed to win 0 rounds on the T side. It's got to feel really, really bad for them right now. They know LDLC is so close to taking this down, and because of that, they have the full 3,400 bonus from losing more than 5 rounds in a row. Let's see if they can actually put these rifles to work now. The grenades are going to make them move into middle. Happy and Shox have been defending it well. Shox with an opening kill. MBK defense as well by the connector area. Gonna be challenged by 2 at once. That's a good movement there from NiP, but they're still down players. Exists now the last man standing against the 4 remaining players of LDLC. And they know exactly where he is, and Shox, on point as ever, is going to make the frag happen. Shox has been so key, so insanely key for them right now. He's top fragging, 27 for him. And this is the Shox that we want to see for LDLC. It's the Shox that steps up when everything matters. And at 15-10, 1 round away now, LDLC. Match point. Can NiP bring it back from the brink?
And because of the money bonus, they will be able to force out again. What a map to win a championship on. It does come down to Cobble. There will always be a little bit of skepticism over that, but it doesn't matter. They both are equally inexperienced on it. It all came down to skill. And LDLC looking to win the first X Games gold medal, but NiP trying to wrap back around.
It's a strong angle there from Happy. Again, he's used this previously, but not for a few rounds, so it might catch NiP off guard if they're not looking for this. The silencer definitely helps out, but he is going to give his position away. But in the confusion, Shoxy gets a pick, but that is the return frag from NiP. 1-for-1 trade. That's actually pretty good. It's going to force the rotation. MBK going to come in from connector, takes down Forest. Freiburg falls as well. Get Right and Exist now. All hopes rest on them.
And Happy's still above them. He could turn around and get behind them once Get Right goes through. He's still just peeking through the windows. Not sure why he's not quite there yet, but it's all on the shoulders of the Commander-in-Chief, Exist, and the best player, and, well, at least statistically, Get Right. And Exist is actually going to get MBK, so they draw it back into a 2-on-3. It's still doable as they try and charge forward. Happy has come back around. He is below them on the ramp. He's going to try and come in. Get Right gets Kiyoshima down to a 2-on-2. They are very low on health, though, and Happy's just waiting for this angle. As soon as they cross, it will be all but over. Smith gets Get Right, and that's going to do it. X Games, Aspen, Colorado. The first time ever gold medalist, LDLC, France over Sweden. It was a heck of a tournament, a heck of a match, but the French team comes out on top. And an absolute great effort, a repeat of DreamHack. NiP did put on a heck of a performance, as did a lot of the teams, pretty much every team that were here this weekend. But congratulations, LDLC.
Yeah, they're completely ecstatic right now. You can see that NiP devastated to lose that. They had such a strong tournament. Once again, LDLC proved to be the betters. And this is a storyline that's just beginning between these two sides. This is not the last matchup between LDLC and NiP that you're going to see in the grand finals. I'm sure that 2015 is going to bring many more insane grand finals just as this. So excellent, excellent tournament, excellent performances from so many teams and players.
And I said it Friday morning in our pregame show. 2015, the year of Counter-Strike. It's all started here on an absolutely excellent X Games tournament. First ever medals handed out for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and it can only get better from here. What a start to 2015. What a great performances this weekend. I'm sad it's over.
Absolutely.
I'm having the time of my life here.
And you know what else changes storyline-wise? Fnatic, essentially the best team of last year, towards the end winning everything. LDLC taking them down in the very controversial DreamHack Winter 2014, get the finals against NiP, take them down once again. Fnatic, this time bested by an NiP that looked even stronger, an NiP that looked different. And this time, we're going to see, potentially, this could be, at least the first half of this year, could be all about LDLC. We'll have to see.
So LDLC gold. A lot of people always put emphasis on how you lose gold, but NiP do win the silver. They had great performances, and especially when they did take down Fnatic. And then it's Team Dignitas, who actually immediately after they won the bronze medal announced their new sponsorship with Team Solo Mid, who pick up the bronze. So another big organization coming into the game. And it's all good. I mean, everyone that comes in, Liquid
Definitely.
now with the team, CLG with the team, TST with, TSM, sorry. TSM with the team, TST, that's the stream
It's good that you mentioned Dignitas. I mean, they managed to get the third place. They did lose the semifinals.
And they look a lot better on the terrorist half than they have
Definitely.
previously. So Kerrigan's brought some renewed ideas to them, some creativity, and hopefully that they continue to build on that because they have all kinds of skill. There's no doubt about it. They just need to get that last little bit of chemistry.
Definitely, and one thing I have to say is massive props to Corey Dunn for being the director.
Absolutely.
And directing the production. It's so amazingly, and they have an
Steel on
amazing team
camera.
here. So amazing to work
The
with them.
makeup artist for trying to make me look half as good as you.
I think she did a fantastic job.
Oh, well, there we go.
So yeah, props to them. Great event. And we do have Puckett on the floor to basically, well, Puckett, take it away. Give us your thoughts.
All right, guys, thank you. There's just one more thing to do, and that's to put the medals around these 10 players next. Let's start it off with our silver medalist. We have Ninjas in Pajamas, Exist, Forrest, Get Right, Freiburg, and Michael Laley playing so well all weekend long. Some of the best matches of the entire tournament. Unfortunately, Exist, you guys fell just short at the very end there on Cobble. What was the map? Talk to me about the veto system. Did you guys expect LDLC to go ahead and ban this, or how did you end up on Cobble?
I mean, we expected them to pick Cash or Mirage, actually, but they ended up picking Inferno, which we won, so that was good for us. I think we had to win Dust 2 if we wanted to win this map cycle.
This is becoming an epic rivalry between you and LDLC. Another second place finish, but this time we have silver medals for you. Girls, come on in. Let's award our winners. Second place here at the X Games in Aspen, Colorado. The first time ever for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. You gotta be proud of your performance. I know it's not gold, but next time we know you'll be in the running. That is Ninjas in Pajamas. Guys, congratulations once again on a phenomenal tournament. I'll let you go hang out with your fans, and I know shortly after this we'll be doing it on TV over with the ESPN crew. Once again, congratulations on a fantastic tournament. But now to turn our attention to the champions here of the MLG X Games Invitational. Give it up for LDLC. NBK, talk me through this tournament. We saw so many exciting games. The first one, you're looking very strong. What happened on Inferno?
We had the same problem than against Dignitas yesterday. We just couldn't counter the T-play. I mean, yeah, they just played very well, and then on the other time, they just took it pretty easily. So, I mean, I think it was a very good game for the spectators. So, I mean, that's fine for us.
And what did you think facing off against NiP here for the gold medal?
You know, they're very good friends of us, so we're very happy if they're competing against us. And they're a team that we have a pretty good record against. So we were both confident and happy that they were here. So, you know, it's a good game.
You won the last major at DreamHack Winter. Now X Games Gold here in Aspen, Colorado. What is next for LDLC?
The next major has been announced, and that's definitely going to be in our plans. And I don't know. It's just going to go event after event and trying to win every single one as if it was the biggest every single time. I mean, when you're competing, you want to be the best every single time, so we have to aim for first place at every single tournament. And I don't really have... I have one tournament in 2 weeks in Sweden. That's the next deadline for us.
We'll be looking forward to that one. Final question for you. It was a team effort all weekend long, but if you could name one player on this squad, the MVP, who gets the honors this weekend?
Well, it's been 3 months that Happy has been playing just incredibly well. And I mean, he's leading the team, he's creating the game, and he's top fragging every single game. There is only one choice for that, and it has to be him.
That's what the stats people say as well. Happy, the MVP. Let's bring in the gold medals here for LDLC, our Winter X Games champions. After 3 days, they come out on top. The first ever X Games gold medalist for Counter-Strike. We are looking forward to so many more epic matches from these players here on MLG.TV. Once again, crowd here live in Aspen, give it up here for our silver and gold medalists. There's plenty more Counter-Strike Global Offensive to come here in the near future. Starting next week, we will have ClutchCon in Denver, Colorado. You can find it right here on MLG.tv/ClutchCon. All of the big names, we have Fnatic as well as Team Liquid, Torqued, and more are going to be making their way over to Denver. So if you want more CSGO, you can find it here January 30th through February 1st. We want to give a big shout out to the whole production team, the casters, the analysts, and of course everyone who tuned in this weekend from around the world, the Europeans who stayed up late with us throughout the weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll find you next time right here from MLG.
Long wait, but we won't give up now. Crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud.